feel like every fill you play sounds the same no matter how hard you try to mix it up? I used to get stuck in that rut too, until I found one pattern that totally changed how I approach fills. So I'm going to show you exactly how to use this secret pattern to unlock endless creative ideas and make your drumming way more exciting. The pattern we're talking about is flam, right, left. In standard rudiments, this is called a Swiss Army triplet. Now, we're not going to be playing it the traditional way for long. In fact, by the end of this video, we're going to be making it sound pretty damn cool, like this. The thing about the Swiss Army triplet is that if you interpret it as strictly as it's written, you're kind of restricted. It's very useful as written, but there's so much more potential locked inside this pattern. So here's the key. I don't want you to think flam. I want you to think both. So I actually don't say flam in my head. I say both, right, left. Because you don't have to play it as a flam. You can play it flat or in unison. It doesn't have to be a traditional flam the way that it's written. You can make the flam very narrow so the notes are really close together. Very wide so they're farther apart in time. Or you can flip that flam and have it be a left-handed flam with the right hand grace note first. But you'd still do, in all those cases, both hands and then right and then left. So there's a lot of flexibility right there in how it sounds, even before we start moving it around the drums. I'm thinking of the sticking as starting with both rather than strictly a flam means you can get the sticking a lot cleaner during grooves and complex ghost note patterns. It also means you can start incorporating other techniques like this open close technique and get this pattern very clean and very fast. Before we get there, let's break down the progression you need to follow. First, practice the basic Swiss Army triplet, flam, right, left. Here's what you need to pay attention to. Make sure that flam is strong with the grace note very quiet. And then afterwards, don't raise your hand back up. Let it go down and stop very low so that the right, left afterwards is as quiet as you can get it. There needs to be a lot of contrast between the accent and all the other notes. Get this down first and practice it slowly. Make sure every note is exactly where you want it to be with a metronome. After you've got that down, play the flam as flat as possible. Both hands hitting at exactly the same time in unison. This is harder than it sounds. Your hands are going to want to naturally separate, so you really have to focus on getting them to land together. By the way, don't do this on a snare drum. If you play in unison on one drum, the vibrations kind of feel wonky and it just sounds terrible too. Do that on a practice pad or across two different surfaces. Then play the flam as wide as possible. Exaggerate that grace note, make it really obvious. Practice all three of these variations, the standard flam, the flat version, and the wide flam, until you can do any of them on the fly. This control is what's going to give you creative freedom later. Next, you want to start practicing this in 4/4 time as a grouping of 3 notes repeated in a 16th note grid. In this case, you can finish with one extra left or right-handed note to land back on the 1. And then here's the next thing. You're going to start the pattern on different parts of the beat. After you start it on the 1, start the Swiss Army triplet on the E, then the and then the Do the same thing for beat 2. So the 2, the E, the and the Keep going through the entire measure, sort of on 3, E, and, or 4, E, and, or Well, maybe the last ones don't quite count. The last one you can do is the E of 4, right? For each starting point, figure out where the pattern ends and how many notes you need to add to resolve it and hit back on the one. This is crucial because it teaches you how to start and stop this pattern anywhere in the measure, and that's what gives you the ability to create fills that feel surprising and musical rather than just mechanical and going through the motions. Okay, now we get to the fun part, orchestration around the drums, and you're going to create your own fills. So start simple, move your right hand around the toms while keeping your left hand on the snare. Pattern is still flame right left, but now that right hand is hitting different drums. Next, try sweeping your right hand. That means the double, the two rights that you play, are played on two different surfaces. So tom snare is the simplest one to start with. And then with the actual rudiment, you can sweep the other direction. You can sweep snare tom. And you can alternate. Then start moving your left hand around and get creative. Try different combinations. Forget about the cymbals. Incorporate crashes, your hi-hat rides, whatever you want into this pattern. With this alone, because you can already start and stop the Swiss Army triplet sticking anywhere in the measure, you have a lot of room to explore and express yourself. But we're going to take it even further. I'm going to show you a variation that's going to flip the whole thing again. It's called the Blushda. And here's what it is. Flam, and then a right diddle, and then a left. So the second note of the pattern, flam right left, gets doubled up. Both the left hands are accented, so I'm going to play some rim shots for those. Finally, you need to play a left-handed flam to start it out, so the right hand is the grace note leading into the accent. Don't forget you need to work on your open-close technique for those doubles to get them really clean and fast. Without it, your doubles probably sound like what I call the high school band teacher double stroke roll. Meaning the first note of each diddle is stronger than the second, and it all sounds sort of sloppy. So don't do that, and I'll put a link in the description to my open-close breakdown so you can master that technique. Right, so back to the Blushda. Practice it very slowly at first. Make sure those doubles are clean. And then gradually speed it up. Once you've got it, try orchestrating it around the kit, just like you did with the Swiss Army triplet. The possibilities are endless. So let's talk about adding your kick drum. You can add it on the first note, on the flam, the accent. That's pretty standard. And and you should definitely practice that a lot. But here's another great way to do it. Add the kick on the second note, which is that solo right hand. Becomes flam, right with the kick, left. We're orchestrating that with the right hand on a crash cymbal, and it sounds freaking sick. Check it out. So add the kick in different places and see what sounds musical to you and what, tickles your fancy. The more you experiment, the more confident you'll feel and the more you'll develop your own sound. I want you to take these ideas and run with them. Spend time mastering just this one pattern and then move it around the kit. And grab that PDF with all the notation exercises from this lesson, plus a couple of bonus licks I think you'll like. The link is right below this video. And if you need any help with those doubles, then you need to learn the open close technique. So watch this video next.